my way here this evening, I thought in the 8 minutes that was given to me, why I think USB is such a special academic place. I just said to some of my colleagues, if I ever have to work in a university, I think the business school is probably the best place to work. Firstly is we're a graduate school of business, which means all our students are postgraduate. We don't teach Sociology 101 to 800 students, which one must do, it's important. But we see the fruit of academic and professional work done when students come to us. Our students are absolutely beautiful. At my age, all young people are beautiful, but I mean, they are really, really beautiful. And when I work through the class list, because I start to teach tomorrow in the leadership program, I'm just amazed at the absolute privilege that we have to be in a business school with the kind of students that come to us. And last year, just for the figures, 1,454 postgraduate students studied here at USB. They were spread over 5 postgraduate diplomas, 4 master's degrees, and 3 PhD programs, from management coaching through the MBA, through leadership, through project management, right through to development finance. We've got a very wide range of academic programs within USB. It's a graduate school that understand what it means to think and work interdisciplinary. That is the first good reason why it's good to be here. And may I say, of those students last year, we're approaching 60% black students in our school. And I'm not that proud about this one. We're just below 40% for women. But we're working very hard to make sure that USB is a place of inclusivity and welcome. The second reason why it's academically good place to work is, unlike other normal departments in a university, we are subject to extreme competition. Now, I'm not a competition fetish type of person. You can also push the concept of competition too far. But it is true that at USB, because our competition is online from top universities in the world, we've got about 18 other business schools in South Africa, all clamoring for the same students, the same staff, the same research contracts. It does put a lot of pressure on us, but it also creates with us a deep sense of quality. That if you are in the academic world, I always say this, our longevity as a business school does not rely necessarily on how good our marketing is, because that is important, but it's what you market. And what we market in the school is quality education backed by proper research and good academic work. And that is why we take our ranking seriously. That is why our accreditations are important to us, something about which Heidi Lussier will say something a little bit later. The third reason, there will be 5, the third reason is that we are a truly international school. It's wonderful to walk into USB and you suddenly see different faces, you hear different languages, you have a huge diversity of professions walking here. It's not like a department where everybody does the same thing. We have medical doctors, we have bankers, we have farmers, we have winemakers, we have almost every profession and direction represented in the school, but also 1 in 5 of our students do not come from South Africa. They are international from Africa and the rest of the world. I know this evening there are even quite a number of them present here tonight. We also try to increase the internationalization of our staff. 1 in 5 of our permanent staff members are international staff. They bring fresh views. They make us stronger. And then last year, we have an international study module for our MBAs at least. We sent out 331 students to destinations ranging from Boston in the USA to Japan. 2 destinations in Africa, a number in Europe, in the Middle East, in China. We really try and bring to the bear to our students that we live in a global world. Although we're deeply rooted in Africa, we want our students to understand, to love this continent through the beautiful poem we just heard, but also understand that if you walk out here, you're welcome to enter any place in the world because you've grown an academic mindset that takes the global world seriously. Fourthly is we've got very special staff. Yeah, I mean, in terms of numbers, we are far too few for the work we do, and we feel the pain. But I can tell you, every appointed person in this school on the academic side, and may I say also on our professional support staff, it's such a joy to come here. I've been here 3 years, and my greatest joy has been to see people grow, to see them flourish, to see them suffer sometimes, but then to see the team coming together and say, this is our home, this is where we spend an inordinate amount of our time, we can just as well make it a happy one. And I want to pay homage this evening at the beginning of this academic year to say to our academic staff and our professional support staff, colleagues, I love you very much. I've come to really enjoy working with you, and we are what we are because of the tremendous commitment and work ethic that we find within the school. May I ask that you give them a hand at the end of the school. And lastly, within my 8 minutes, we made a conscious decision to be a values-driven institution. Now that can be marketing talk, but we want to take it quite seriously. If you look at what happened in state capture over the last 2 to 3 years, some people would say, well, one can expect the public sector in Africa to be corrupt. We don't agree with that statement, but let's say you take that. But what was painful for us as a business school is to see that, as we normally know, it takes two to tango, and many venerable international companies that subscribe to very strong professional codes of ethics has been caught in action that are not reputable and are not ethical. And it's in circumstances like this that it's very important that we educate our students to be what we call responsible leaders. Therefore, in this school, we shall and we will continue telling our students that if you focus on shareholder value only, in the end there might not be shareholder value to protect, unless you understand that the legitimacy and the ultimate success of what you do is a stakeholder approach in business, and the way you govern your company, that is very, very important. We also have taught our students, will keep teaching them, that we can no longer as business take nature and the natural environment as an externality that is not brought into pricing. It is time that we take the environmental concerns of big business very, very seriously. We will teach our students that GDP growth is not necessarily always a measure of progress. Because if the distributive effect of that growth does not lead to greater equality and a little bit more egalitarian society, we shall not live in peace, neither in South Africa nor in the world, where we have an unsustainable gap between those that are well endowed in the economy and those who feel excluded from that. We also will and keep doing and tell our students that a short-term focus normally brings you into serious conflicts of interest between your own interest and that of the shareholders, the stakeholders, and the country. It's better to take a long view of business so that you build sustainability in the long term. And by the way, on a more philosophical note, we also tell our students that consumerism is a very, very narrow view of the human person. We are much more than consumers and workers. We are full human persons, and therefore in our economic models we need to understand that if we want to build a world that is truly sustainable with truly happy people, contrary to belief, money does in fact not make you happy. It's who you are, the fact that you find purpose in what you do. And one of the great joys in this school is to see how people coming into the school with a certain personal vision, how that vision changes over time, and I hope this evening we will hear from one of them saying how that has changed their lives. Our job in this school is to change people's lives through very good academic work, and we shall keep doing that in the year that lies ahead. I welcome, therefore, everyone this evening to the USB. I don't know whether I'm entitled to do that. I think so. I can declare the academic year open. I think I can do it. Let's give the academic year a very big round of applause. Woo!